once upon a time, when you pick up the JAM syllabus, it tells you about maybe even a pass in English. That was way back then. So this talk of having
a pass in English if you are in the sciences.
Yes, so
in some places.
In some places, but,
yes.
But now
a pass in maths if you are in the humanities. In some places. So the picture is not as bleak as we are painting it. The picture is bleak, but not so terrible. But for us to have a rosy picture, we have to do real surgical operation.
We're surgical operation here.
Surgical operation, you have to talk about the quality of the teachers, their competence. There are many schools without maths teachers. So how do you expect the students that will write maths in WAEC or NECO from those schools to have credit in maths when nobody has taught them?
But there
are many schools without English language teachers. How do you expect the students to, on their own, manage and have a credit?
Professor, there are many schools, but there are some other schools that have the same. But then we have this tweet from one of the viewers who's saying that one of the causes of one of the effects of technology, or technology is having an adverse effect on our educational system. For instance, BlackBerry messaging, Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, Yahoo, Messenger, Skype, etc. All that has to do with the internet age. He's saying that these things are part of the contributions to failure. That they're a distraction.
They are a distraction to what percentage of the students? They are a distraction to what percentage? My child in secondary school does not have a BlackBerry. When your child in secondary school has a BlackBerry, then there is something mentally wrong with you as a parent. We have to take responsibility.
Now that you brought in the parent,
we have to take a responsibility here. Because even if we are talking of BlackBerry, instant messaging, Yahoo, and all that, what is the percentage? Assuming 1 million students wrote WAEC in a particular year, and 79%, in quotes, failed. What you are trying to tell me is that 790,000 of those that failed, we are busy with BlackBerry, with internet. We don't bandy figures without internalizing the implications of those figures. I agree, some of these children are hooked on this, but what percentage? They are not up to 5%. And it's basically those of them in the urban area and high-class urban area.
You were talking about the rate at which we bandy figures. Almost every sector seems to be guilty of this. When, for instance, we say this sector is affected by this, we don't seem to base it or predicate it upon certain findings with a view to development. So is it how deep this challenge has gone in this country?
It is deep. It's deep. I agree with you, it's deep, because I still go back until we are ready to tell ourselves the truth. It is not enough to stand in front of the camera and play to the gallery for people to think that you have their interest at heart. And once you step out of the front of the camera, you become your old self.
But who will take the first step? Is it not the education sector? Because if we're talking about results, failure here, this sector affected here, what about the research institutions? Shouldn't they be coming up with, this is what we've done, nobody seems to have listened, these are our findings 5 years ago, 6 years ago, this is what we're currently doing, then we'll take it from there.
No, but I've also said so, that we have all these things. But the willpower to implement is the willpower. Are you willing, ready, and able to do it?
You know, we had someone here, that was yesterday, he actually talked about teachers, and he did say that some teachers have actually left that particular sector. Is it as a result of remuneration or as a result of being redundant or lack of training?
Disillusionment, dissatisfaction. If you don't have a passion for teaching, it needs the special grace of God for you to still remain in the sector. In fact, a few years ago, a colleague from the US said that Nigerian teachers and lecturers should all be martyrs.
Oh dear.
Considering the conditions under which we work. Because yes, the policies are there. Are we ready to implement the policies? Who are the key drivers? Who are the key drivers? And once the leadership is ready to support what you want to do without blinking an eyelid, you coast home dry.
Now you talk about the budget, well, there is a percentage which United Nations, the MAC that United Nations has asked every, I see a smile on your face, have we been following all of that?
We don't have to follow that.
But if we do follow it, it will make a difference.
No. You see, my own position is when we are allocating money, even if it's 10 naira you're giving to education, let the 10 naira be released. Let it be released. Let it be released for the system to function. You budget 10 billion. At the end of the budget year, you may not have been able to access up to 2 billion of that 10 billion. And again, you remember, budget is paper money. It's not backed by cash. And until it's not allocation, even if 26% is allocated and 1% is released, what does it mean? But if 13% is allocated and 12% is released, there will be ripple effects.